There's some weird shit that happens to us. Those people aren't always the people at the car shows. They're the people that I run into as I have like one of the cars out, like, and I'm with my wife, and we park and we're walking into a restaurant, and there's just an NPC that pops up out of nowhere, and they're like, and the conversation all starts, nice car. Oh, thanks, man. Really appreciate it. And then goes the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, my dad had a car. I'm like, sick, man. What do you have? Ba-da-ba-ba-da-da. And we're on to season 9, episode 4 of the MartiniWorks podcast. We're back.
Listen to that.
We're back in the living room where we're talking about a couple two, three things that are good and bad that are happening in the car scene. Some of our favorites.
Yeah.
Some of our least favorites. And this is really important because you guys dropped a lot of comments in the last podcast where we talked about wheel brands, who's sleeping with each other, coilover private label stuff. We were giving you some of the juicy details, and y'all were like, fuck yeah, give us more of that. So be sure to subscribe. And if you haven't yet, you got an aftermarket car, add it to the build threads over at MartiniWorks.com. If you are looking to pick up a car part, I would just ask, buy it from us right now. We're just getting started. We'd love to help you get through the process if you're looking for coilovers, exhaust, something like that. And if there's issues, let us know.
I can hear the thing in your voice. Yeah, where you need to clear your throat.
It was
And,
giving it to me for a second. I was like,
And it would be super great
So much better now.
if you could do that for me. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, shall we jump into it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
for the love of God.
Okay. Well, okay, guys, listen.
I've been waiting all day for this.
There's some good things happening in the scene, but everybody prefers to talk about the negative, the shitty. It's the whole reason CNN and Fox even exist. So let's start off with the bad. Start off with the bad.
Oh, I thought we were going to start off with the good.
Oh, yeah, I thought we were going to
no,
change it up a little bit.
Absolutely not. We're part of the system.
No, I think we should start off with the good, then get into the bad.
Okay, the good. Let's talk about the good.
I think the good is I've seen a lot of people, and what I've been enjoying is like OEM plus builds. I think they were underrated. Now they're getting kind of the attention they deserve, and I'm seeing it a lot more. And then along with OEM plus, like period correct builds. I think those are so sick. I'd love to do one day, but I'm broke and I got the cars I got, and to do a period correct 2020 Supra, I guess it's just doing what I'm doing now. But yeah, I really enjoy seeing that kind of stuff. And I've been enjoying less is more. People that are able to take cool modifications, make it so their car is individualistic and stands out, yet it's not overdone, which I think we talked about a little bit in the past. But that's what I've been like. And I think more of it is coming up, and you see, more of these cars at car shows when we go, or even car meets like at Riverside and stuff. I'm sure at Gatlinburg there will be some, and I'm excited to see them.
Yeah, I would say one of my favorite things that I've enjoyed seeing is less of a chase to brag about power and more of a demand to focus on experiencing the car. I feel like at least probably maybe 10 years ago even, it was always about chasing power. It was like this 1320-ishness in car building, because 1320 was blowing up. They're awesome people. Love 1320. But it was like if you were a car guy watching content on YouTube, 1320 was everywhere. The biggest thing you bragged about was horsepower on the channel. So everybody aimed for lots of power, and I still see it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely still around.
Yeah. It's not like it's hiding, but I do like to see that some people aren't chasing that. They're more so chasing like the driving experience. They're going out with like a pretty semi-stock car. They upgraded wheels, tires, and coilovers. Maybe they got the intake, but they're going out to their first autocross event. They're going to their first track event. They're going and they're trying their first drift event. Like seeing a lot of that again has kind of been really exciting. And so I really enjoy watching people jump into that, not so focused on just trying to build the biggest or best car in their local scene.
Definitely the people around me have been using their cars a lot more, and I don't know if that's is the age we're getting to, or if that's more of the style. I mean, if you even look at automotive YouTubers, though, it's not so much about people just slamming cars on their nuts and doing dope edits anymore. It's more like, hey, I'm getting into drifting. Hey, I'm getting into track racing. Hey, I'm getting into time attack, And
it's so cool to see other YouTubers kind of going into that space. We saw Adam LZ, he was doing like a Datsun build. TJ Hunt's doing that GT3 build, which I think is super cool. He put that on air jacks. That was awesome. And then I saw, who was it? Oh, well, Dustin Williams is really getting into track racing pretty heavily
time
as well.
Attack and stuff. I love watching that shit.
Cool.
So fucking cool.
And I'm a personal fan of like Jimmy Broadbent, Super GT, those sim racing guys that are over on YouTube. They've got awesome channels. They just started racing in real life as a team as
That's
well.
cool.
So they've got like a Nürburgring BMW race car now, which is super cool to see. So like, it seems like people are getting into that. Like the first generation YouTubers are getting into like the driving portion almost more full time rather than just every once in a while.
Yeah, and it's cool to see like even someone just like the media guys as well transition from shooting just like your car shows, your meets. And
Yeah,
stuff
that's
like
true.
that.
I didn't think of that.
You know, you got Crispy out there chasing down drift cars.
Yeah.
You know, in cars and stuff like that. I think even Bojanga, he actually just
Brian?
posted. He's like, "Hey, I just went and shot like my first drift event.
Yeah.
It was absolutely crazy and refreshing to like shoot this type of content versus just like static stuff." And I think that's really cool to see as well because you're seeing a lot of for the first time that creativity and that like visualization coming over to like the motorsport world, and it's fucking wild.
Yeah, because the quality and craft these photographers have in the show scene, I think trump like almost every other type of motor. Truly, I believe that. Because
Wait, say it again?
I think car show content creators, like photographers and videographers, I think when they start making that jump from static cars to dynamic movement cars, they're going to crush the competition because they've had to make really dope stuff with cars sitting still. Now
the cars
they're
are doing cool
dope
shit.
stuff while the cars are doing dope stuff, and there's this environment of energy and like just action, and people are screaming and cheering, and there's crashes and there's smoke and there's sound. At a car show, it's and it's the car just standing still.
Like
so
what funk mix can I put over this?
yeah.
And, you know,
I don't get me wrong. I do love.
I love me a
good car show.
No. I do too. But like, shout out to the media guys and photographer people out there.
real.
Crispy, Halcyon, Brian, Bojanga.
It for the fucking 50th.
I say it
it's
just to piss
they
them
say
off.
it in every goddamn video.
Halcyon. That's how you say it.
Halcyon.
Okay,
Halcyon.
Mario. We hang out with Mario, and I love
Halcyon.
Mario, but he just mispronounces everything in his whole life, and it's not his fault. And apparently,
actually-
Alex picks up on it.
It's the language.
up.
You
it's
know,
the-
Anthony.
It's the
you
language.
know it's
the
pronounced
lang-
Halcyon.
It's the language barrier. Halcyon, I would also say, I think there's like huge shout outs to some other people out there. Divine Media is an awesome guy. It was really cool. We just did the build threads and we got to see Kevin was on there with his GR86, which I thought was absolutely
All right.
awesome.
If you get to watch one automotive YouTuber for the rest of your life, anything that's automotive related, even if it's like on the edge, who are you watching?
Oh man, Scotty
I know.
Kilmer.
You did me fucking dirty with that one. And I was setting it up so well, and I didn't even pick up on it.
Bro.
Good answer.
Oh hell yeah.
Good answer.
All right, anyway,
I'm gonna find it really quick. I want to make sure.
he's
I
like,
wanna
like,
make
I
sure-
need to find other people.
I can't
I only
remember the
watch
name
my
of the
own
channel
videos.
I watch.
dude.
I gotta look it up.
It's one of those things where it is true.
I don't really haven't. I'm between right now. Like the two that I watch the most consistently are Gears and Gasoline and Dustin Williams.
are two good
Still, like I watch other ones, but the ones I watch most consistently, I'm usually turn on. So either one, I love Dustin's Japan content. But I absolutely love the time and quality that's put into Gears and Gasoline.
Yeah.
And then I mean the road trip series are hilarious and awesome, but then also the track racing has been really cool to follow along. So I'd probably be between one of those two. It's really tough to pick right now. I'd almost have to flip a coin and just suck it up with whichever one it landed
Found
on.
it. Sorry.
Okay, what's the name of the channel you didn't know that you want to watch for the rest of your life?
I am subscried to it because I only know his little icon. I don't remember his name, so that's his little icon.
Shit, I
But
should have the icon.
the
I didn't realize
YouTube
how-
channel is called Super Fast Matt. His videos are really interesting and like they speak like I enjoy how he makes his content because it makes me want to make content like his a little bit because it's a very educational but also like kind of funny, quick on his
Can't
toes
say
as
I've
he's
ever
explaining
watched
it.
one of his videos.
But his videos are like they're 25 minutes long. They're talking about like your front suspension is done. I invented a new suspension. It's not very good. It's time to put a 3D scanner in your toolbox.
Okay.
You know, after 20 years of welding, I learned how to weld. Like, there are all these kind of like funny
I like that.
self jabs, but also like, let's talk about the Toyota Prius. And he does a really good job talking about the car while also like sharing the story about it. I enjoy watching his stuff.
My neighbor's got a new Prius.
Dude, 0 to 60.
You got to answer before you get into
yeah,
that.
I'm sorry.
What do you mean answer? I said it.
Ooh.
Scotty Kilmer.
No, I need you to be real with me right now.
If Scotty Kilmer
I don't
wasn't
know if
here,
you've watched a Scotty Kilmer video from start to end, but I have.
I've watched many.
I don't need any fake Scotty Kilmer fans over here, okay?
so what is it?
Oh man, it's tough. I watch so much fucking YouTube.
Give us one.
I know, that's why you're a great person to ask. You get one.
This guy can't come up with one answer on pressure.
I know he watches a lot of YouTube, though.
Can't.
One automotive YouTuber. Who you
Gels.
picking?
Hurry up, bro.
I mean, it's not even like I do watch a lot of VinWiki stuff.
Oh, there you
Wow,
go.
I wasn't expecting that.
I like the stories.
Yeah,
of,
no,
like,
they
the
kill
stuff
it. I
is
just wasn't,
absolutely
like-
crazy. It's between that or Rob Dom. I love watching Rob's stuff too.
His
Rob's
big
like
rotary
a
guy.
big
It's
rotary
just
guy.
so wild the shit that he does.
Yeah,
and it's
no,
like, and he's so
100%.
like dedicated and passionate for like that.
He's been doing it for a
engine
hot minute.
platform.
Homie's just on side quests.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Neighbor got a Prius?
Yeah, neighbor got a new
Like
Prius.
brand new one?
Yeah,
They are so good looking.
I saw it like I
Does
swear
it
I
look
saw
good?
it like drive into the drive. I was like, that looked like the new fucking Prius. And then I haven't seen it since. Besides, like
They
just the
returned it.
back end of
That's because it's so fast you can't see it. It's
Yeah,
like the
that's
Toyota.
like
We know
they
it's
hide
not
it.
fast, it's
They
a
hide it
hybrid.
during the
But
day,
does it
and
look
they
good?
race it at night. It looks incredible.
Yeah, dude,
Dude,
they look-
it broke my fucking neck. I was like,
I wanna
was
get-
that the new Prius? And I was like, why the fuck did I just
I
snap my neck for a
legitimately,
Prius?
I legitimately want one, and
Dude,
I
it
want to
looks-
get the. I want to get their. They have like a sport trim model. I can't remember what it's called, but it's got a 0 to 60
GRD.
of 6.1 seconds. It's the
GR
same.
Prius.
Yeah.
It's the same speed as a GR86 0 to 60.
I mean, that's not that hard.
No shit.
But yeah, like it's like the red color too. It looks really good.
yeah, I think it looks.
And then, and I think to compete, then the other neighbor, I believe, just picked up a C8.
So what are you getting?
I came home with the GR86 the other day just to kind of
Oh
show him
shit!
up a little
So they're
bit.
like, damn.
The whole neighborhood getting new whips.
tax return season's here.
But it's not. So we were talking about
July.
good things, excited things about the car scene that's going on. Gels came up with Prius.
Yeah, the Prius is good. No, I agree with you too. Like I think we're the whole, especially like the show scene and stuff. For the most stuff that I follow, is kind of like taking a step back from like the extreme like stuff, like the extreme aero and like just being loud to be loud, like in all aspects, and kind of going more with like the subtle, like modest style of things. At least like with the stuff that I've seen, I really appreciate that. I've also really liked seeing that, like, you know, people our age that, you know, can go buy like the RSXs and like the Civics of like our time, like growing up, and doing some really nice, like you said, period correct builds on them.
The builds we wish we did when we were 16.
Literally, I love that, and seeing them like well done, is just an awesome thing to see. There's nothing that makes me more happy than seeing like a super nice like RSX with like just a simple body kit, really clean, good wheels, good fitment, not slammed on its own, but like, you know, a good fit, like it's good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the shit though. Let's talk about the CNN Fox News. One's not going good. in the scene.
Breaking news.
Takeovers.
Breaking news.
Alex loves talking about
all of the
takeovers.
companies that were selling
Can't get
parts
this-
fired their influencers. That's some of the bad shit
Whoa.
that happened in 2023.
Shit.
Damn.
I'm not saying anybody in the room,
I
but
didn't
what
get fired.
well, that's what I'm
I
saying.
fucking quit.
I'm
all right?
just listen.
A lot of people thought I got fired. I didn't
Yeah,
get fired. I fucking quit.
That was
Listen.
something I didn't know I'd have to like fight off in my comments.
I know, yeah.
I bet you got fired.
yeah. He's all upset, crying
there-
because you got fired.
There's a
Fuck you, bitch.
there's a time and a place for that story, and that's not yet.
A couple months, yeah.
Yeah, but what I will say is it's not just us, right? That happened. I mean, there was a lot of people in the past, I think,
And it, like,
7-9
continues
months
to happen.
that
I got some thick
I saw
ankles.
I saw a lot of people. Kevin
Kevin was one of them.
Kevin
He
was
got
let go.
canned.
Yeah.
And that was a real shitty way to go.
It was.
And there's like I have a general disdain for because there's a way. Hold on, let me.
There was another person.
Yeah. This happened to multiple people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It, like there was like a streak of it.
So here's where I have a problem with some of that entire conversation, because there was a lot of that happened that was either springboarded off of, you know, I would argue that for the most part, in at least our space, when we did it in our past life, we were one of the first to specify or like, you know, pick a niche and really kind of dive into that. And these other companies and other people also did it at the same time or even earlier. But what happened is at some point or another, the market got really tight And in these other companies, they didn't know what to do, and they fired these influencers, and they made it. They put such a bad taste in like those people's mouths. Where I'm glad some of them are off doing their own thing. Like Kevin seems to be crushing it. Good for him. That's awesome. But I feel really bad for the people that like don't have like a place to go. You know, they poured all their heart and soul into this brand, and then all of a sudden this brand let them go. And now they're like sitting around saying, okay, well, do I have to go back to a normal job? Do I not have to go back to a normal job? And like to see how some of the businesses treated those people as those people were the face of their company. I feel like that was kind of a shitty thing to do. I'm not going into specifics on who, like, but it's out there.
Talk about shooting yourself in the foot. I mean, it's literally like saying like, hey, I'm firing who you or like I'm getting rid of what you think this brand is.
Yeah.
Like when you said when you put a face to the brand, and then you're like, hey, we don't want that anymore. Get out of here. The people that like supported that brand are like, what the fuck, you know? Why would you?
Because that was the humanity part of the brand, right? And like you look at in 2023, and it's like we're all learning. I know I'm learning. For instance, like I'm way more careful with some of that stuff, and also making sure that the shit that I actually do is the shit that I feel isn't going to do that to me. Because there's also brands out there that are doing brand deals with some of these content creators that I think are kind of abusing like these people's platforms to pump, you know, shitty products or to pump a shitty message. And then because these influencers are out of a job and they don't really know how to navigate it, now they're just taking these brand deals and stuff like that. And I do think that's a shitty part of it. The commercialization of automotive content creation, I think, is sometimes a very slippery slope.
Yeah, it can get really scummy really quick.
Yeah, because you hear me say this, and I'm gonna stand on this hill. I'll die on this hill. You can clip it for 10 years from now. But no matter where we go with MartiniWorks, no matter where I go with my own automotive content, no matter where I go with trying to sell stuff to you guys to help keep this dream alive, I'm never going to fucking sell my soul. I'll never do it. I'm not going to do it. I will never look at somebody. I'll never avoid looking somebody in the eyes and having conversations with them as to why I'd be making a decision that I'm making. And I think when you had all these merger and acquisition numbers come into the automotive market, which if you guys don't know, there's a fuck ton of money that came into this scene like 3 years ago, all from like financial backgrounds, commercial backgrounds, and they started buying all these companies, all these automotive brands because they were exploding because of the last 3 years. And then all of a sudden the market wasn't exploding because there wasn't a global pandemic. And these private equity companies are like, shave 20% of your staff.
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
Yeah. Or 80%.
Or you're screwed. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's nothing that I'm saying right now is a story of my past. I want to make sure I'm fundamentally clear with that. Nothing that I'm sharing with you is secretive or hidden or behind any pay blockers. I would never tell you something that would put me in an adverse situation with my situation. But that is what happened. Like, generally speaking, in that just market,
across the industry.
Yep.
Yeah, I could answer any question about that. And the people that did survive in the automotive scene that sell product that I still think are really connected to their brand are the ones that didn't give up on such a short time frame. Because there are still brands out there that are very passionate, that they're still influencer led, that they haven't, let go, so to speak. I can't go into specifics, but like, it's really great to see that I still think most of the Throttle team is doing really well, for instance. Like they've been building and doing car content and doing crazy stuff and all that sort of thing. I think there's other people out there that have done the same thing. Shout out to like Koenig. Koenig just kept punching through each year. Like they knew it was going to be a hard year. Yeah. They didn't give up. They kept making wheels. They kept doing what they knew was the right thing to do. And that's why I love Scott at Koenig and all those guys over there,
Yeah, they're good shit over there.
So that was my shitty thing. I'm sorry, I'm done now.
That was good. No, I didn't know you were going in like that, but yeah. Fart cans. No.
Unequal length headers.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of those cars.
No, you make some good points, and it was a lot of first, I think, for a lot of people and a lot of companies, like to just get stimulus checks handed out and
wild time
for everything to explode like that and then kind of come to a halt. I think it was the first, and a lot of people had to change shit up, and that's business. That shit's going to happen. It's just how those people go about it, I think, is what truly matters. But I mean, you'll see I think that the true brands, the good brands, they'll stick out and you'll follow those. And then the other ones will kind of wilter away.
Yeah, I think it is. I think what I want people to hear in that space is like, just the last probably year, I think people have gotten numb to it a little bit, but like, don't give up on on the people that are trying to figure it all out again. I mean, even like with myself and like launching MartiniWorks in the store and the build threads, like I don't want people to get numb to the fact of like me saying, hey, if you're looking for a coilover or something, you know, buy it from the shop. Tell me how it went well, what didn't go well, because I'm literally starting all over again, completely 100%. And like the $150 that I'll make on that is just going to go right back into the website to like unfuck one of the things that you
I didn't realize how
was wrong with the site.
Expensive websites are.
Exactly. So it's
My
like,
God,
I want to keep that relationship with you guys, the listeners. And Dakota was the one that really spearheaded just the conversation of saying, let's do a podcast to just stay connected to the automotive industry. And when things pop up or flare up, we can use this space to talk about it. So, Gels, what do you got for shitty things? And then I think we have to take a break.
Yeah, we'll take a break so Sony don't overheat. We'll come back swinging. What do you had a lot of time. Alex went on a tangent.
I'm sorry.
Supercar channels. There's nothing that drives me more fucking nuts than supercar channels and the cult following that they gain.
You mean
whatever fucking
the 10-year-olds that watch it and have a cult following?
Yeah.
That's the only fucking cult following those channels have. It's got to be just 10-year-olds.
Yeah, and people who just got their license.
But that's the thing, dude.
It's like the thing is though, it's like it's not just a channel. Like it's the fact that like, you know, they'll blow up super quick because it's like it's cool shit that they're doing. Like it's like, yeah, wow, that car is crazy. They went really fast.
Not many people in the world have their hands on these
it's like
cars,
cool
so it's interesting.
It's cool to see that stuff. It's just like the predicaments that come out of it, and it's like, oh, I get picked on by the cops all the time because I have cool cars and they want to do it. It's like, no, you were driving 200 fucking miles an hour on the freeway.
Might as well
dude.
just tag Daily Driven Exotics. Like I know they've got a huge following. I've got no disrespect to who they are.
I don't know if I've ever watched,
but like it's that agitation content.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that you see on TikTok.
And it's doing
people, and
they're getting it. Yeah. They're getting it out of me. That's doing what they wanted to do, and I understand that.
Yeah.
That's why I don't watch it.
That's why Whistling
pretend
Diesel
it doesn't exist. Yeah, it's the same concept. They do it for that specific reason because they know people talk about it. They know it gets under people's skin a little bit.
I think the difference is between Whistling Diesel and a Daily Driven Exotics, and then we can take a break, is that Whistling Diesel, he does it without like being apologetic. It's who he is at his core. He's destroying and damaging and doing all fuck all to his own stuff. He knows people aren't going to like it. Yeah. But at the end of the day, there's no you're not involved, but I'm going to make you involved by what I do, right?
Yeah. You're going to talk about me. You're going to talk about what I did.
But with Daily Driven Exotics, it requires an exterior partner, somebody that's not involved in the content to cause that flare up. And that's the difference. It's kind of like those prank channels where it's like, I'm going to go fight with a cop, put it on a GoPro footage, try to get them to make a mistake as they're explaining the radar to me, kind of be a dick about it. But because the kids that are in the channel are 15 years old, they're going to side with me anyway because they think cops are bad. And then 400,000 views later, it's...
What bugs me about it too is that like a lot of like the people that like are introduced to that as like their first like automotive content and stuff too, like that's what they think being a car enthusiast is. Yeah. And I don't, like, that feels grimy to me. Like,
hats off to them for having a huge channel. Do whatever you want. Totally on you. I agree with some of the concept of like, Jesus Christ, like, hey, views are low. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's go make somebody throw something at the car and get 500,000 views. Or, hey, like, they just got into a big controversy with like Shmee 150 because they were on a rally and Shmee didn't put the Daily Driven Exotic sticker on the side of his rally car. And then Daily Driven Exotics confronted them at the rally. And it literally every single title of that series reads like it's a fucking like TMZ.
Yeah, I don't watch that shit.
Well, yeah, me neither. Like, I haven't kept up with anything. It's just I know what's out there, and I see those people filter into other content. I'm like, well, it ain't a fucking what's the super hyped fucking Lamborghini right now? The SV. Well, it ain't SVJ, so I don't care.
Oh,
it's like okay. I was talking about my RX-8, but yeah, okay, go off.
Go off, bro. All right, we're taking a break. When we come back, Dakota, what are we talking about?
We're talking about our most awkward interactions in the automotive scene.
Oh God. Okay, let's do it.
All right, bye.
There's some weird shit that happens to us.
Yeah.
Interactions.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like because people recognize you, and then sometimes it's just being a car person, I think. And either meeting up with other car people or maybe people that don't understand cars. I've had weird interactions like that. First of all, I want to give a little bit of a disclaimer of like, if you want to come talk to me at a car show, absolutely, dude, 100%. I am down to meet the people that enjoy our content and like cars. Like, that's why I go to car shows and car meets. So if I'm talking shit a little bit here, don't think like I don't want to like talk to you. That's not it. But man, some people don't have any fucking social awareness.
The social awareness.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
There's times where I need to like get away. It's so bad. Like, I feel almost bad talking about this because again, I'm down to talk and meet up with her. But obviously, there's a point where like I gotta move on, or whoever you're talking to, like the rest of their day is going, or maybe I'm with my wife, or I'm doing something, and like you kind of need to pick up on the social cues of, hey, this has been real. I'm going to go. And then, no, you don't need to start the fifth story.
Yeah.
Don't need to do it. So that happens actually quite a bit. There's even some serial people like I see them coming at the car shows. And I'm like, oh, shit, I don't have an hour and 15 minutes right now.
I love the interactions as well. And I've actually seen it where most of the times like car people come up if there's a situation where you're just really excited, we're talking about something and I have to go. I've been able to just say, hey man, I'm super sorry.
Yeah.
I have to go because some of that social cue stuff maybe isn't like there in the conversation.
I get it. Like people get excited.
Yeah.
No.
It's not a bad thing.
It's not the 5 minutes. It's the fucking like hour long following me around.
But that's what I'm saying. I have noticed that hour long conversation, those people aren't always the people at the car shows. They're the people that I run into as I have like one of the cars out, and I'm with my wife. Yeah. And we park and we're walking into a restaurant and there's just an NPC that pops up out of nowhere. And they're like, and the conversation all starts, nice car. Oh, thanks, man. Really appreciate it. And then goes the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, my dad had a car. I'm like, sick, man. What do you have?
Kind of like turn back towards the
and like we're walking into the restaurant and he's like, no, I'm walking into the restaurant. And it's like, you know how like when you
he's like, oh, you guys eating?
Yeah,
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
Sits down at your table.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna open the door, but I'm not gonna walk through it. You know, like that sort of thing where it's like you start talking and you're having the interactions, and then there's this thing, and it's only a certain type of conversation. It's the one where it's, I want to prove to you that I could have had what you have.
Oh yeah.
And I'm digging deep into this a little bit. Mm-hmm. But it's the people that like they see the car, they say it looks nice, but then they turn it into they need to get that self-affirmation from you that they could have had the same thing. And they're like, well, I used to have this, but I gave it up because I'm getting older and trying to focus on the kid, blah 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 blah. And it's like, oh yeah, man, absolutely. And yeah, I just don't get kids that spend money on that. And it's
the backhanded statement.
Super
that
backhanded.
always comes, dude. That is such a real. 1,000%. I have those like they'll say something nice, and then all of a sudden they start sliding in these like backhanded.
It's like
because they started to realize that like the compliments are too much, and they're like maybe they start to see it as a threat. And I had this situation happen just a month ago where it was my wife and I. Carmel passed away. This was before Carmel passed away. We were kind of having a night. We're trying to figure stuff out together. We're just trying to go and have dinner and just have a night.
Right.
Go to B-Dubs, get some wings, get 2 Angry Orchards, fucking talk about nothing, go home.
Right.
And that happened. And the individual was nice, but he wouldn't stop talking. And what made it even worse was at the point in the conversation, he just chose to neglect and like cut out my wife.
So now you were having a date with him.
So now she's just sitting there.
She's third wheeling.
And he's talking to me about all the things that he wants to do and all the things that he could have done. And it's like, homie, I am literally here with my wife having dinner.
Trying to eat my honey barbecue wings, my guy.
Here. And that kills me. Like if you're a car enthusiast and we gotta go and I'm running around at Formula Drift with Jellos because we gotta fucking scan a track, I'll just let you know. But dude, those like people, the backhanded compliment people, you start to realize why sometimes as you get bigger, you got the Adam LZs and the TJ Hunts of the world where maybe their closed offness in terms of being out in public, maybe it's a little justified.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not saying like I'm a big deal by any means, but obviously still have these interactions here and there. And I've even had someone come up and they're talking to me and they're like, so any plans for the Supra? And I was like, I mean, for right now, I'm kind of content. I just put a bunch of stuff on it.
Yeah.
For the summer, I'm kind of enjoying it. And I'm going to keep it like this. We'll see what's going to happen next year. I'd like to, get bolt-ons and stuff. But for this year, I think I'm going to kind of keep it the same. And they go, oh, is that because you can't afford a Supra and you just bought it to, like, show it off? I was like, no.
What?
Yeah. And they're like, are you broke now or something? I was like, no, it's not that. All my bills are paid. I'm good. I just need to like enjoy the car the way it is. And dude, these backhanded comments just always come in, and it's so weird. And it makes it off-putting. It ruins it for people because like immediately after that, no, I don't really want to talk to other people because like in my head I'm like, that's how the conversation's gonna go.
Yeah, I have gotten it too, where it's like, I'll get into the conversation like, oh, what's next for the cars? Or like, I'm like, well, I'm trying to like piece some things together, like how to wait a little bit. They're like confused because they're like, well, don't you make videos? Don't you do YouTube? You got to be rich. Why can't you just get that shit for free? Why can't you just buy it? What are you waiting for? Why haven't you turboed the RXA yet? Why is the 240 not have an RB in it? Like, just like this random shit. It's like, because I'm fucking broke, dude. Like, I don't know.
It's a weird conversation with like the YouTube thing because it's kind of like a slice of life, right? Like you get to see a portion of our lives in a very specific sense. Like most people don't know. This is a brand new heater of information for you guys.
Coming in hot.
Alex Martini is not me full time. I have a whole nother business that I spend 60 hours a week doing to fund and do the other shit. Yeah. The YouTube videos are like what I can only do that as part of something. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're one of them dirty hands, clean money kind of guys.
Yeah.
He works construction on the side is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, I work 60 hours a week just on the side.
You got soft hands, brother. Dude,
it ain't my only gig.
But people like look at you and they're like, oh, well, you do YouTube. You must do it full time.
Yeah.
Hey, you're on TikTok.
Yeah, no,
you must
I know
do
what
it
you
full
mean.
time.
Well, I promise you, there's people listening right now that, dude, I've gotten so many messages about that too.
Yeah.
Like that people think I just do YouTube full time. Like,
I wish.
Hey, you haven't uploaded in like 3 weeks. It's like, yeah, because I'm trying to pay my fucking bills. I quit my job and YouTube's not going to pay for it. Like, don't get me wrong. I get some money from YouTube, but it's chump change compared to my bills. Like, you need a job and to do things. So I do marketing on the side. And it's like, I'm not just sitting there like in my basement. I'm just like, man, I should really fucking record. What can I record?
Yeah.
I can't do that right now.
Yeah, I had somebody that was like, I just find it interesting that like, it seems like you just, you edit videos on, like you post and edit videos on your phone. Like I'm surprised, like as a YouTuber, you don't like use a full camera so you can get better quality.
Flash,
and then I was
90% of YouTube users are fucking.
And I'm like, bro, sometimes this is all I got. Like I'm just, we're walking around and we're filming and I see a dope car and I'm like, okay, let me just whip out the phone and do a little 30-second edit and there you go. It's like, I wish, hopefully in a year, we can look back at this video and laugh because we're doing the things that we love to do full time. We got builds in the garage fucking piling up. We got crazy cool stuff. We got t-shirts we're dropping.
Well, I'd say if you look now, I mean, we're still sitting good. I mean, Joe's got RXA 240. I got Supra. You get the Z, the GR. Like, we're sitting good now, so I don't want to lose sight of where we're at right now. I'm very fortunate to be where I am now, but like at the same time, I mean, we're by no means rich at all whatsoever.
It would just be nice if we could
still
fix,
cutting her close. Like,
it'd just be nice if we could fix the RTV issue in a single day.
Yeah.
Versus 4.
Yeah, because we're doing it on jack stands and hand tools,
and then have a crescent wrench and a flathead.
I'm pretty sure the crescent wrench we used was found in the fender of my Honda S2000.
And then the flathead was given to you at a car show.
Speaking of which, I'm so close to finally having a relationship with an auto parts store. Napa?
What do you mean?
Yeah, they reached out. They're like, home.
Is that who was sitting with you on your date with your wife?
No,
it was Napa, Mr. Napa.
It was Mr. Napa.
John Napa,
dude. If outside of the automotive scene, if there's one brand I wish would like sponsor me, it'd be Ace Hardware. Well, hear me out.
Napa's pissed now.
No. Non-automotive. Non-automotive. I really want to do something with Napa because I think
why Ace?
I love Ace.
Why?
There's something about it.
Over everything else?
Maybe it's because of the, like, I didn't have, this is going to sound so sensitive. Just give me 10 seconds to explain this.
I'm sitting here. I got all day.
Ace Hardware has the generational age employees that make me feel like they're the grandpa or grandma that's just helping me out. And I can go in there looking as I do, and they don't give a fuck. They're like, how can I help you? What are you looking for? And I'll be like, well, I'm looking for like some self-tappers. And they'll be like, okay, what are you using it for? And like, this is where the judgment comes from. Self-tappers, not really something you want to use. And I'm like, well, I'm working on a car. And they're like, okay, what car? And I'm like, a 430. And they're like, a what? And I'm like, a Ferrari 430. And this is where I'd lose most people. Ace Hardware employees, they don't give a shit. They're like, come on over. I actually just helped somebody with he has a John Deere from I think it was like 86.
He was stapling his Lamborghini Diablo back together.
And he's like, and he starts walking me through, and he's like, which by the way, if you ever want to do this, with a more permanent solution, we have this and this. I'd recommend this tool. I actually just bought this one.
Okay.
And it's like a fun interaction. I enjoy my time at Ace Hardware. And then when I'm done, I can put my stuff in the car. I can head over the gardening aisle. I can buy myself some fucking tulips, and I can head home.
Listen.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, I will. The last time I went to Ace Hardware, which I would assume is the same one because we live in the same city.
I didn't even know they had an Ace Hardware here.
No one talked to me. No one helped me. I went to check out, and I'm going to tell you this verbatim. Hey, how you doing? How's your day? Oh, I'm doing good. Thank you. You find everything? Yeah. I'm going to go home and cry my eyes out. Oh. Yeah. Do you want the extended warranty on this? I don't think yes.
Well, does that help? Better?
Does that help? No, I'll pass. That was my experience at Ace Hardware. So I don't know where the fuck you're going to lollipop heaven Ace Hardware.
Dude, I love it
because not what I went.
Because it's the hardware right next to Classic Mechanics.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's close. You got fucking nothing around here.
Dude, yeah, your house
is like a 10-minute drive to any fucking
Your house is weird. Yeah, like this is a nice city. I loved it because I came from Beaver Dam, and we have nothing. We don't have anything except Walmart, AutoZone, McDonald's. That's it. And so like coming here, I Google something when I need. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. There's a dedicated store for this one fucking nut I need, basically. Yeah. So I'll go there and buy it. It's so fucking nice. But then we get over to your house, and it's like around lunchtime. It's like, hey, let's go grab lunch. I look, and there's like it's like a McDonald's and a Burger King
we're working
within 10 miles.
Working on the GR86, and I dread anytime we need to go get a part or a tool because I'm like, it's gonna take fucking 40 minutes.
Yeah, you're in the fucking boonies.
Thing I need.
Bro,
you're in the boonies.
I'm 2 minutes away from the largest highway of the city.
Yeah. With no fucking part stores on it.
It takes fucking 40 minutes on the highway to get where you
I got O'Reilly's 2 blocks from my house.
I don't know how living in the same city can feel so different.
I know.
I love it.
It's not like we're living in fucking California. We're fucking Appleton, Wisconsin. Like it is. Like
see, that's why I was just so excited that Napa was like, "Hey, you want to do something cool together for the rest of this year?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" Mostly because then that means, like, it's just another 10-minute drive from my house to another random store that I'm gonna go to, once a month.
Napa, one of them stores. Like
Chelsea and I went to Napa the other day.
And
they seemed annoyed with us.
Well, you're you.
They're like 2022.
Okay. I was very pleasant, I'll have you know, while I was in there, and I wasn't being obnoxious.
It didn't seem like you were very pleasant to the Ace Hardware lady.
I was.
She was going to cry her eyes out.
Yeah, but that was just
Napa was just shocked that like their computer system actually went above like 1988 for the car year search. Like, they're 2022.
Yeah.
What was it? A Toyota?
Yeah.
GR86?
It's like,
right.
I do think sometimes when you go into this, there's like certain shops and stores where time did stop.
Yeah.
And
Napa is one of them.
Bro, I remember.
I don't want to get their sponsorship.
Did they have it?
It's
have
your
what?
opinion.
Did they have the thing?
Did they have an oil filter? Yeah, they had an
well,
oil
then
filter.
there you go. You got exactly what you wanted. So shut the fuck up. Napa Master
and
Race.
my Pennzoil oil.
Bro, it was wild because like I remember the only other place I've walked into that's felt a little bit like that is like we have a grocery store up here just called Pick and Save.
Yeah,
okay?
I go there. That's where I go.
Yeah, okay, so Pick and Save.
Yeah.
Now back when I was in Eau Claire, Mega
Save and Pick,
right, and then became Mega Pick and Save, and Mega Pick and Save.
There's Megas.
Mega Pick and Save was a thing.
Is it the same thing that Mega Walmart was?
No, Mega Pick and Save.
Super Walmart.
It was on Claremont.
Super.
This is a real thing. Anyway, and it was like updated. It was fresh. It was nice. And so I thought all pick and saves were fresh and nice and up to date. Especially when I lived in Oakland. Everybody calm down.
There's ghetto
calm
ones.
down.
There is ghetto ones.
Come to Appleton 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Get in the lay of the land.
Yeah.
And as I'm driving home, there's festival, there's a Myers.
You talk shit about my grocery store.
There's a pick and save. And I'm like, I want to go there.
No.
Because I want to, it's right on the way home.
Right.
And I'm expecting a mega pick and save experience. And I had a mini pick and save experience. It felt like I was going back into 1976.
Okay, well, sorry we didn't all grow up on
dim
mega
lit,
pick and
fluorescent ass, 8-foot tall ceilings,
Sit down,
fucking
sit back
can't
down.
take credit card looking ass. Everything's
mean
on
can't take
a
credit
on a member card bullshit.
Listen,
I had to ask Lars to steal his mega pick, not even mega, his pick and save account card.
fresh perks.
So that,
get it right.
so that I could save $12 because otherwise their pricing is fucking ass backwards.
Listen, you're lucky I didn't send your ass to a fucking Cops, all right? You ever been to a Cops grocery
I
store?
have not.
I bet
No.
you not, because
But-
Pick and Save bought them out.
let me give Alex a little bit of credit because in this
Credit or
town
crap?
credit.
Oh.
Because there is ghetto pick and saves and then there's good pick and saves. And my
must have
wife
went
and I have had this we've had this discussion. We know which pick and saves to go to.
Yeah.
So you just go to the correct
There
one.
was at one point Beck and I were walking through the pick and save, the one that was not as great as obviously the others, and I looked at
not a mega.
I looked at the aisle and I was like, this could be a scene from The Walking Dead because it was like everything was yellowish green,
Yeah,
and then there's
it's
like a
the
fluorescent
lighting.
the fluorescent light at the end is like zzz,
Yeah, dude. The lighting, you don't realize how much lighting affects a
Fucking-
place. It can
five,
ruin the mood.
Five Nights at
completely.
Freddy looking ass music playing in
What?
the background.
What?
Food City. In Chattanooga, remember?
Oh, dude. Chattanooga, Tennessee
That.
was full of
Interesting.
brand stores.
Yeah.
Interesting stores. We went to
Food
when we-
City felt weird.
when
Food
we
City
were-
was weird.
we went into Gatlinburg last year and we went to a grocery store and I can't remember. I think it was called Publix. I think that's what it's called.
Never been to a Publix.
Okay, so anyway, it was like a pub.
I've heard good things about it.
So hear me out. I understand the complexities of tiered price tires and wheels, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, blah 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 blah, and suspension and cars and all of that stuff, right?
Losing 'em.
Here's what I don't understand.
Listening.
How is there tiers for grocery stores?
What do you
How
mean?
is a grocery store so goddamn expensive? We went to a Publix and to get $50 worth of groceries it was $170.
Was it all organic?
No, it was just Publix labeled.
What is it? Their stuff was that expensive?
I guess.
Was it good?
Well, they're like
No.
they're like a social media icon right now, I feel like, so their stuff has to be more.
So wait, you've heard of this place? You just haven't been there?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I've never
yeah,
heard of
because
it.
I
Ain't
saw
rich.
people in like the TikToks from Los Angeles, like when you live in Los Angeles,
Yep.
you have to have the lifestyle, and the lifestyle includes going to this random ass grocery store that
See, that's
So
why
it's
expensive.
like Starbucks but for grocery
Yes.
stores. Like,
except we didn't know what we were getting into.
There you go.
And then we were there.
did it feel high end when you were in there?
Fuck no. I was
Oh,
just
well,
pissed
then
to
what
be
the
buying
fuck?
because I was pissed to be buying groceries, period.
Okay.
Spending money.
All right.
Sorry,
So-
let's bring it back.
Yeah, grocery stores, back to awkward moments. There's one that
yeah.
there's one that truly just kills me. It
Okay.
guts me.
Kills you.
Every time.
Okay, what is it?
Nothing hurts more. We're out somewhere.
Oh, I know this.
We're having a grand old time.
It's good.
Talking with people. We're getting deep, right? We're getting
The
into
best.
deep conversations with these
Yeah.
people. We're having a grand old time. Like,
Intimate.
dude, like watching videos for so long.
So long.
Really,
I know what you-
really, taught me a lot. Have
A
watched a lot
A lot.
of your videos.
A lot of yours.
Like, I know so much about you.
So much.
Taught me so much.
A lot.
Can we take a picture together? Absolutely.
Yep.
Thanks, Dakota. I hope the soup is going really well.
We don't even fucking look alike. Okay, and I want you guys to know this happens to me reverse the same.
I don't fucking understand.
People come up to me, "Hey man, how you doing? Good, how are you, dude? Did you bring the RX-8? Nope, I've never fucking owned one. Never had an RX-8. Never will have one.
I just-
and then the look,
Dude, the look kills me every time. They're like, oh, because then they like realize they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I fucked it. Because I get embarrassed for them at sometimes. Because I used to just let it slide sometimes, and then like after like the 30th
identity
one,
theft.
Remember at New Jersey
Yeah.
where you
I've just like, I'm like, that ain't fucking me, bro. Like, I am jealous. They're like, oh, jealous. Like,
I don't know where they I don't understand where they lose that because it's like you guys both have hats, sure, but everything below
about
the
where it is,
eyebrows is different.
Yeah,
My favorite one recently though is that they didn't say anything. Like they didn't say like, oh, thanks Dakota. They didn't. It's like so I thought it was a good one. And then you get tagged in the photo that they took with me, and I'm like.
I reshared it, and he had it as it's Dakota Stone, and I put underneath in spirit, and then tagged.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah.
If you listen, we are Midwest nice. If you come up and say hi, it's gonna take a lot for us to be mean people. Because
about 150 misrecognizations.
Yeah, but at about $1.75 of misnaming gels, we're gonna start.
He's
telling
gonna
you that you're wrong.
Swinging.
His tone will change slightly.
Yeah,
ever
get
so
a little deeper.
All right, we need
here, quick for you. This is what you gotta look for. My left arm is all tattooed. Gel's left arm's nice and clean. Also, typically, I haven't shaved in 6 years, maybe longer. Gel's has pretty clean shaven face. So those are a couple dead giveaways. Mm-hmm. If you're out and you see us,
like
Alex wears glasses.
Yeah,
there
so the best thing to think about is like if you're talking to Gels and I at an FD event because we're there for Torque Motorsport, and Gels doesn't say something fucking randomly off the wall, it's Gels. If something weird ass comes out of his mouth, it's Dakota.
It's probably me.
Every time. Yeah. Literally every time.
I have to say though, someone redeemed everyone recently. Last week I was at my buddy's wedding.
Yeah, this was crazy.
We were in Wausau. And I lived in Wausau for a couple of years, all that kind of stuff. We were out doing like the rehearsal dinner, we're having drinks afterwards, all that kind of stuff. I was like closing out my tab, and we're at like this like arcade thing. We were like the only ones in there. And then there was like someone like came up like, hey, like you're Alex, right? And I was like,
you're like, what the fuck?
And I hate that I have to like think about this. I'm like, my name, shocker, is Alex.
No,
my real name.
And
so, but like, I'm like out of that realm. I'm not anything car related.
Yeah.
I'm with my friends from high school.
Yeah.
We're there for the wedding. I'm like, oh, maybe they need something for the wedding party because I'm involved. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, dude, I watched all your videos. I was like, and it like took me off guard so bad. I'm like, are they thinking that I'm you? Because I'm like,
it wouldn't be that far fetched.
Because if you
honestly.
watch my videos, you wouldn't be calling me Alex.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like having this conversation the whole time trying to figure it out. I'm like, are you fucking with me right now? Like, do you think that I'm... And like, we take a picture, had a good conversation. He went on his way, talked with his buddy for a little bit. I then get tagged in the photo. And it was me. And he knew. I was like, how in the heck? Like, that was the first time that someone like did was like, are you jealous? I was like, no. Are you Alex? I'm like, yes, but no. But...
It's so crazy. I've never called you Alex. I feel weird even saying it.
No, it's a shame.
In your direction.
That one really threw me off in the best way. So if you're watching this, thank you. I appreciate it.
If you see Gels and you call him Dakota, I'm punching the nuts. With that being said, let's take a break. We'll see you in a minute.
You can come talk to us. I promise we don't get mad normally. For every 1 million good interactions, there's a bad one.
So every generation, there is some good, some bad, some in between. But every generation in the car scene, there is just some of the dumbest, ass backwards, silliest shit.
We are really going after people in this episode.
That we have to deal with
Alex
every once in a while.
Yeah, he's just unloading.
Yeah, so like each generation's got their own thing, right? But I want to spend a minute talking about some of the silly stuff that maybe each generation is bringing.
Silly string.
Interesting stuff each generation's bringing to the game.
Silly goose.
That we think is a little bit of a silly goose. All right. So I can start it off if you want. Maybe give us a little bit. Give you a little bit of perception here.
Yeah.
Are you still thinking about silly putty?
I'm thinking of all different silly things.
Okay.
I was thinking how wild silly putty was.
What was the worst interaction you've had in the automotive scene with the generation before you?
Before me?
Because there is. I would say for us, if you're listening, I would say the direct kind of group of people before us were the DSM first generation heavy tuners.
Okay.
Like they were pumping out 500 horsepower wheel on a good day. That was a serious number. SRT4s were pushing 400 wheel horsepower. Like those were the cars you were kind of jumping into. You're spending some time on. Comparables were Fox body Mustangs. Nitrous was like, it was on some street cars, but it was more so like the rare of the rare were running, full nitrous spec cars. 3000 GTs, Supras, things like that were like dream-ish cars. Those were the people right above.
Yeah.
At least for me, that's the way I see it. I see it modified second-gen MR2s as like when I was 18, that guy was 26. He had a 600 horsepower MR2.
Yeah.
The generation that I think is like fully above that though is the exiting domestic, like hot rod. I'm building 4-barrel car.
Yeah, right.
V8.
Yeah, yep.
And I remember bringing my Datsun, like pre-exit cowl hood thing, to Burger King car shows and watching old people scoff at the fact that I had brought a 1976 Datsun to the Burger King car show. That was like once a month on Thursdays.
But had a Chevy engine in it.
But had a Chevy engine in it. And they
Wait, there was a time before it had the...
Yeah, because there was a period of time where I could like put a little thing over it, and it didn't really like it. But I was trying to figure out what to do with the hood.
Okay.
And then that didn't last long because then my dad and I did that AutoCAD black engine cowl thing that we did. But I mean, there was a time I remember one guy where like he looked at me. I was like 20 years old, not even, and he's like, parked the car, really excited. It's right after work. I worked at RCU. I've got like some fucking purple tucked in shirt and black pants. I don't know what I was doing. And the guy looks at me and he's like, don't know why you brought that here. This is for muscle car only.
Ooh.
And I don't know if you're old enough to understand. That's not a muscle car.
Age out.
So if you're still out there, I hope you're not.
Yeah, Whoa.
I'm kidding. It's a joke.
Damn.
Holy shit.
That was spicy.
That was a little bit spicy. Yeah, I've had an experience like that though, similar. Being from Beaver, Kentucky, we had our classic car shows. Well,
sure.
I have a Cobalt SS, not necessarily a classic car show, but I still enjoy going to car shows. I want to go to a car show, and I remember a guy coming up and starts doing the, fucking looking around at what the fuck is this,
God.
And I walk up. He's like, "This your car with the huge old fart cannon on it?" Mind you, I had a 3-inch straight piped exhaust with like a 3 to 3.5 inch tip, maybe. Very standard normal exhaust. I was like, yeah, I mean, he's like, shit couldn't keep up with my Camaro. And it almost sounds fake, like how, but like, yeah,
like
people will talk to you. I'm like, okay, like I'm fucking like 17, 18 years old. And I definitely dealt with that going to multiple classic car shows of people judging you instantly and thinking you're a rice burner, even though I drive a domestic vehicle.
I would say the only because like when I started like going to like events and stuff, it was WCC events. And I would say for the most part, a good majority of that crowd was good. Like I was like meeting people for the first time. I can't say I really ran into anyone that was directly like, kind of a dick.
Yeah.
The only time I really ran into like that sort of stuff was actually back in my hometown. I had the Eclipse. I got it driving. We had to do the whole engine stuff, all that kind of stuff. I was like, got past the part where I was done spending money to get it like driving and good and like reliable to the where I could start like fixing it up a little bit. Well, I had purchased some Eibach lowering springs. And I was so happy to like finally lower this car. It was like my first like, like performance modification. They like lower the car.
Eibach
and
crazy.
But yeah, so
that's money.
So I got these springs. I'm looking at the car. I'm like, how the fuck do I get these springs on this car? I don't got the tools for this shit.
Yeah,
I don't have the knowledge for this shit. I'm like, and I'm talking to my dad. I'm like, what? He's like, well, just go around a couple of like the shops around here and see if like anyone would install them for him. I'm like, okay. Literally the first shop that I went to that like someone recommended. I don't even think this place is in business anymore. Thank God, because fuck those guys. I roll up with my Eclipse. I was like, and like, it's your typical northern Wisconsin automotive shed.
Two bay, 10-foot tall ceilings, one light still works, dirt floor.
Well, some of them, you never know. But yeah, anyway, I roll in there and I'm like, hey, I have this car. Well, they already saw it. Yeah, they saw it roll up and they're like, oh God, And I come, I'm like, here's what I have. I want this done. It's kind of like, and I'm like, he's like, I gotta go get, Jimmy real quick. And then it comes on there, what the fuck does this kid want? He's like, well, he wants to put these springs on his car to make it faster on his little rice rocket. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, I just want the car to be lower.
There is a weird
like it like automatically just came off like aggressive and like and it was like, I don't want to fucking do it. And that became very clear because like, all right, well, let's go look at this thing. Mm-hmm. We walk out there and we're like, man, this thing kind of, got a big dent in the side. Like, what you think? I'm like, I just want the fucking thing.
Just
like they're tearing apart my car.
Not even a big deal to put on
I'm
springs.
trying to like give them money to work on. They're just like tearing me apart.
How old were you?
Me?
Yeah.
I was probably 17 at this time.
I swear to God, it is a weird thing as a car person from 16.
I hated going to
20, where you get so much shit from shops for no goddamn reason.
Yeah, they think you don't know a fucking thing.
But they want you to know.
Yeah.
Like they want to tell you.
Brother,
that
if
you're an
I
idiot.
knew, I wouldn't fucking be at your shop right now.
And like you said, you're just trying to give them money.
I know.
What is the big...
So they're walking around and they're saying like, well, to do that, we got to tear all this out. We got to do all this. And then because of this and probably because of the way this stupid thing's engineered, we're going to have to do all this. Like, it's going to be $600 to $700 to put those things in. And I was like, yep, see ya. Fuck you. Went to the next shop that was like someone that my family knew or whatever. He's like, yeah, I'll do it for $200.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you.
That's all you needed.
But that was like really the only interaction. I was so pissed walking around.
Service in the auto like service space is so...
It's so
weird. And like there is this like old mentality because I even deal with it now because hear me out, like with the whatever you think about like the EV market and people modifying electric vehicles and Tesla, whatever, do whatever you want. I don't give a shit. Just modify your car because that just tells me that the industry's still doing something. Yeah. The way that everything dies is if people stop modifying their stuff. Mm-hmm. But there are people in this space, like I spend time at SEMA like helping out with different things here and there, and like I catch wind of that interaction, that
it's
feeling,
still very much around.
That like in that almost, if it's not what I know or like, it shouldn't be part of this industry. And EVs are a lot of that topic right now, where it's like, oh, they're just a fashion statement. Oh, they're not going to survive. Oh, screw EVs. They suck. Anybody who supports EVs is an idiot. And it's like, where is this attitude coming from? Like, I'm not 16 anymore. Don't fucking talk to me like that. Second off, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, because every number you're spouting off is some random one-liner tag you found on a TV show at 6:30 at night while you're making some pork chops. Okay, like shut up.
And those pork chops dry as hell.
And they're dry
they
as
weren't
shit.
even good.
Your medium well-ass steak. Get out of here. Like, I hate that entitlement. That like I want to prove I'm bigger than you.
I know.
And it's like it exists in this space.
And it's like I try to like keep myself from doing the same thing, because I've fallen close to like as we get older and as like we see this new generation coming up, it's like I start to like judge a little bit, and I need to like just reel myself back a little bit, be like, they'll figure it out.
I was just gonna bring that up because
I don't want to be that 40-year-old dude and fucking Jake's Automotive,
dude,
and fucking yelling at some 16-year-old for putting lowering springs on his car.
No. It's this. It's the girl that shows up with an NA Mazda Miata on max peating rods with some rotogrids and some shitty ass tires, and they come up to you and they say, "Hey, I was just wondering if you could put this straight piped exhaust on for me, and I have $120. Are you gonna judge that person? Are you gonna walk around and say you should be fixing that fucking bump in your fender is what you should be doing? You should be getting better tires because these fuckers are about to fall apart. Hey, your car's rusted to shit. Maybe you should do that instead."
That's exactly what I would say. I don't give a fuck what people do,
bro. Just modify your shit.
I've got to the point where I don't care unless it's like just genuinely stupid.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck what people do.
But even genuinely stupid is like its opinion.
I feel like, well, at least there's a big enough collective opinion that you can confidently say it's stupid.
You can defend behind
it. Depends. I think it's just I don't want to be the grumpy old dude. Yeah. I don't want to do that. Well, I think things are not going to be my cup of tea. Absolutely. Yeah. But I'm not going to try to like go out of my way to like belittle someone for some bullshit reason. There's
enough people in this industry like that. Mm-hmm. You don't need to be like that.
Absolutely.
Like you don't need to look at something and be like, you don't know what I should do. I'm gonna set this fucker straight. I'm gonna tell him it's a piece of.
He's gonna learn today. Yeah, like you know.
No,
this circles
you're doing
back.
nothing.
I think it's okay to have opinions or
Yeah,
not even
100%,
like what someone does or think like you just absolutely hate a car because it's not your style. But it doesn't mean you need to be a dick.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you need to take it into your own hands and be like, I'm
not
fix
personal.
you.
Yeah, it's not personal.
gonna
Never
fix you and your-
personal what someone's fucking doing.
That's why I kind of giggle because TikTok comments are always such.
Oh, it's a battleground.
But that's I kind of like it because every once in a while, like there'll be things where I'm like, I just don't know if I like that, but it's got have 500,000 views. It's an NA Miata doing some stupid ass shit with the flippy flop headlights and whatever. And then I'll get to like a car, like a Saturn Ion with a bunch of like anime stickers on it and a Suicide Boys beat. And it's like this montage. It's got 250,000 views. And the comments are like, bro, really?
Yeah. Anytime
This is it?
Yeah. Anytime I see one of those cars with a lot of views,
Comments.
Immediately. Because I'm like, I know that is
Going
just
in.
a fucking shit show in there. And it is 100% of the time.
No,
It's entertaining to say the least.
What do you think is like when you look at some of the stuff maybe current, like us? So we talk about the old generation. They're kind of wonky.
Yeah.
What about like our generation? What do you think we're the worst at?
Like us?
Yeah.
What are we the worst at?
What do you think what do you think ours what do you think is our toxic trait?
Rep wheels. Our generation seems so fixed on Japanese wheels.
I would say that a lot of it seems fixed on like how much you're spending.
Yeah.
Like and it doesn't even come down to the quality of the product anymore.
Just money.
Like it used to be the argument of like, well, no, why I'm mad that you didn't spend more in your car is because of the quality. It's like, no, you didn't spend that much because you're fucking broke.
Yeah,
it's
right.
like
Exactly.
that's just stupid. I would say that our generation is very guilty of that, where it's like, no, look how much money I spent on my car.
Yeah.
Not like look what I did to my car. Look how much money I spent.
Yeah. They don't give like how much time something is put into it. It's how much money
Sure.
did that cost. How much horsepower did it make? How much money is it? Yeah, that's why like a lot of those scenes that we were talking about in a previous podcast, like the lowrider scene and things like that, they don't get the like even the mini truck scene and stuff. Like, dude, knowing some of those guys personally and going over while they work on their shit in the garage and the amount of time and knowledge that they have, and it's like you should be friends with those people because if you need help with them, they'll be there and they can fucking kill it. They are a million times smarter than you, I promise. And it's like people just shit on them because it's not their style or it's how much money the wheels were on their mini truck, and they're not looking at the fucking paint job and how the entire frame had to be notched and they had to take out the wiring harness and reroute it and do
everything shaved down and all the body work is done. Yeah,
it's like
I always thought the coolest thing was like when we got into those conversations, and even like I think the Volkswagen Euro crowd is really close to that too on like the lowrider scene because they'll go and they'll tuck and shave and clean.
There's
some of
two
those guys
sides
are
of the
nuts.
Volkswagen.
Yeah. I'm talking
very drastic.
Yeah. I'm talking about the magazine guys,
not
like
the rain gutter side skirt.
No,
guys?
not the rain gutter side skirts guys, but like
No, I know.
I remember one time I was at a Cars and Coffee one time where like, and I didn't really understand it, but he was talking about how he kind of like shaved and tucked this whole setup that he had. And then he was like, oh, and he's like, and I still have AC. And it took me a minute to like
holy shit
realize what he was trying to like brag about.
Yeah.
And it took like, I'm not even kidding. I still have this like memory in my head because I didn't understand why he'd brag about having the setup and still having AC. And then I realized all the shit you have to run on that engine to get AC to work. It's like, and you didn't see any of it.
Normally everyone, they delete a lot of stuff when they're doing that because
they don't want to fuck with
that.
You Peachy Mark IV is his Instagram handle. At least it was for a while. He had that like seafoam green Mark IV GTI. Had like the completely shaven engine bay. He had like the hood that you could like like the cutout in it.
That was
sick. The car that I'm talking about. I followed him on Instagram. I followed him for a while. That car, literally down to like the rotisserie underside. I swear he's been working on this thing for years now, and he is touching every centimeter of that car. It is like if it's got a dimple in it from like a spot weld filled in. If it's something that's underneath carpet, doesn't matter. It's got to be smooth. And it's like the amount of time and he's gone back and like redone stuff because he wasn't happy with how it like turned out. And it's just that is just insane. And it's like a lot of that stuff. It's like people just they'll never notice it. And unfortunately, but like that is the type of dedication that is out there with some of these cars, and it's absolutely crazy that it just gets blown over because it's like, oh well, my wheels are more expensive than yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking nuts.
Right.
Speaking,
even though he's probably on some crazy wheels.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed that. Like I don't know where or why I found myself like constantly kind of pushing into that scene a little bit. But like my first Euro car was a C5 A6. No, yeah, C5 A6. It was that 2.7T. Adam Rahl was the one that kind of convinced me to buy it. I think that kind of got me into some of like the Audi, Volkswagen stuff. But man, that was like, I remember being 18 and thinking to myself, I'm going to own like Volkswagens and Audis for the rest of my life because this is the coolest goddamn scene.
And now you just have all Japanese cars.
Now you have everything but that.
It is so weird how that works. I wish people like, I hope you understand this if you're still listening, is like, I don't go out and aim for a platform. Like I'm not looking for just JDM cars or just it's just like shit just pops up one day and fucking Driver Motorsports
like,
texts me
cool.
and they're like, hey, we found this Gloria, it'd make a dope drift car, what do you think? And I'm like, let's do it. It sounds awesome. And they're like, well, weren't you looking for a JZX 100? Fuck the JZX, bro, this Gloria sounds sweet as shit. Like I think that's a really fun way to look at it. I don't think I've had a bad experience looking at buying and modifying cars that way. I think it's probably made my life way more difficult in some ways. But man, don't ever narrow in on just one platform. There's so many cool. There's so much cool shit out
I'm really
there.
excited for you to get into Hyundais.
Dude. I've told myself, and I think I'm gonna make this official on my main channel, where I want to put it on my cover photo that if we get to like 500,000 subscribers in like the next 6 months, I will buy whatever car my community tells me to buy.
No.
But I'm gonna let them pick between like my 3 most hated cars.
Alex.
I'm gonna let them like choose between either an Elantra N, a WRX, or like some other random fucking car I just despise, and then we're gonna build it.
Honey, no.
What the fuck?
You know how everybody's like, hey, community, help me pick out, should I get a GTR or a $250,000 Supra or NSX? And I'm gonna be like, guys, we can have
Nissan Cube.
a fucking Cube, an XB, or whatever.
Only square cars.
Only square cars. Only square cars.
Square car.
Now, yeah, you said now it's going to be a thing.
So we should do it. So if you guys are still here, if you think that's a good idea, let me know.
You said yourself. You said it now.
I know.
They're gonna hold you to it.
I know.
What group of like a manufacturer has the best group of car enthusiasts?
Ooh.
God, okay.
No matter how you answer, it's wrong.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna get pissed.
I would like to try first. And this is gonna sound really weird.
Okay.
I found some of the nicest people
Not what I asked.
in the Hyundai crowd.
What? That the fuck?
Then why do you hate them so much?
Because I don't like the goddamn platform.
Okay, so you said out of every manufacturer,
Bro,
the
I'm
best
listen to me. Listen to me.
group of car enthusiasts is in Hyundai?
Dude, I've seen this before, and this is in real life. I'm not talking socially. I'm just talking in real life. I've been a part of the BMW groups. I've gotten a lot of like that snobby-ish feedback from them. I've been in the Audi groups where it's been a little bit more standoffish. I've been in the VW groups where it's pretty chill. It's not terrible, but I haven't been a part of that scene in a minute, right? DSMs and I go together like water and gasoline. That group and I have never gotten along.
Bad experience with some.
I've never had
who in the DSM community hurt
There's
you?
a whole that's a whole nother podcast.
I have heard this come up multiple times now.
Yeah,
you have like a chip on your shoulder for some DSM guy out there.
Some people I really like in the community. Other people, definitely me and them don't get along. Besides the point.
Okay.
But when it was like I was at Tesla Takeover last year.
You were at a takeover?
Abe Cho. You need to let me speak.
You were going to takeovers and with the Tesla community?
Oh my God.
Was that when the Tesla jump happened?
No, guys, listen to me. Give me.
Were you in David Dobrik's
I want
Tesla?
you to stop talking for 20 seconds. You ready?
You got the floor.
Okay, you're at a takeover.
Not true.
Canceled.
I was at a Tesla automotive event in San Luis Obispo. And when I got there, it was about a couple days after I had released my honest review on the Hyundai Elantra N. I was there with a company called Adro. Adro makes carbon fiber parts
They make some
for
dope shit.
BMWs, Mustangs, and what do you know? Elantras, Kias, KDM market. That's their big bread and butter. They make really great parts, like them, run Adro on a bunch of their cars. And when I met Abe there to go to San Luis Obispo, Abe had informed me that he had brought a couple of his influencers and friends that were on Adro parts because they were going to have a booth there. Every single person was it was like a Hyundai Elantra, or it was a Kia, or it was a KDM car, and they all watched the video before they'd met me.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh my God, I just ruined this whole weekend. They're going to fucking hate me. And they were the nicest group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
How about that?
All of them. Then afterwards, we all stay connected. They're all super sweet. We go to SEMA. We're reviewing cars. Between Tesla Takeover and SEMA, I drop a couple more videos on Hyundai and Kia. Not all of them are really that great. And run into them again. Awesome people. I've had the best experience with that like Adro, Hyundai, Kia group, and every single one of them have been the nicest people in the world.
They're trying to get on your good side, and they're plotting to kill you.
Ed's just trying to save some face after talking so much shit about Hyundai. He's like, I need a way to talk myself
I'll tell you what. You name me a group of people, and I'll tell you if they were better than those people.
Mazda.
All right.
No.
The people that own Prowlers.
There's like one of them in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I only know Yuri. That's it. Only guy enough that's it.
Yeah. No, I'd say like my experience with like the Mazda community, especially like the rotary side of things, has been really, really good.
Really?
When I first picked up the RX-8, I had multiple people reach out to me and be like, "Hey, if you need help with anything, let me know." Mike, who I actually met up with down in Gatlinburg, went for cruises and stuff like that. He like immediately messaged me, was like, "Bro, I don't want you to fuck this up, and I mean this in the nicest way possible. You're going to need this. You're going to need this. You're going to need this. You want to do this. Don't do this. For the love of God, do this. You're going to have a good time." And I did those things. I love my RX-8. And then
you've had good luck with your car.
It's because there's only 25 of you left. You have to stay together.
I know.
It's like
so
the last
that's not what I'm saying. That wasn't the part of it. They just said, who has a nice community? And I think that Mazda's up.
I never even said nicest. You guys just went to that.
What's yours?
I don't have one. That's why I was asking. I was
Volkswagen,
hoping to get
Toyota
one,
guy,
so I could be surrounded by some nice people.
Big
for once.
Supra guy, huh?
Yeah, those
How's
guys.
the super community?
The super community.
Yeah, what are they like?
You got the guys making huge horsepower, right?
Okay.
Fucking smart people and everything, cocky, want to race everyone, crazy horsepower. Then you got people, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but the super got plagued a little bit by like what I'd like to call the Corvette syndrome.
Yeah, I could see that.
They're good cars, but it's like people that don't know cars are like, I want a sports car. I make money. And I need a sports car. What should I get? Yeah. And then I think the Supra got a little bit of that.
Sure.
Not a lot. Not nearly. Like, I feel like Corvettes are like the go-to of, I'm not into cars, but I want a flashy car.
Yeah.
And
it's like if they want something different, but don't want a Miata.
Right. Yeah. And Supra. So, yeah, I think Mustangs get that quite a bit too, honestly. But so a little bit of that. And then, I don't know. It's just kind of a
type.
I haven't, like, got a personal connection with anyone in the Supra. Sure. I mean, a couple people on IG. There's one guy that's really cool. He shares all my shit. We've talked a little bit. But you know, not like other.
This is gonna sound kind of weird. I guess now that I try to think about it that way, there's like 6 or 7 people that I keep in touch with on Instagram that all have modified Ferraris, 430s, 360s.
Is that many of you out there?
Yeah. There's like 7 of us.
Ferrari people have Instagram.
Yeah. And they're all really awesome people too. Now that I think about it, like what was his name? PJ.
Enzo. Oh.
PJ has that slammed 355, I think it was, or 348.
Yeah.
He's selling it now, but he was always super rad.
He was
to talk
awesome.
to. And then there's another guy that I started talking to. He just finished his 430 that he wrapped like baby pink and like baby blue, and it's on Heritage 3-piece Heart wheels, and it's this really wild, crazy car. And he's a super chill dude, super awesome. But like, there's a couple other modified Ferrari guys out there that have been really cool. Mostly because the rest of the audience is a bunch of fucking dicks, but you know, that's just how it is. Out there. Yeah, I made one post and got banned from the Ferrari chat.
I mean, like,
that's awesome.
The Focus ST community was cool, but also a lot of people in there. Volkswagen group, my God. Like I said, it's split right down the middle.
What's the most secluded group?
What do you mean by that?
What's the group that keeps to themselves the best? Like
just doesn't like they're just in their zone. They don't fuck with anyone.
Ooh,
Prowler people.
Yuri's like, yeah, yes,
Yes.
Let me think.
Oh, I know it's tough because I feel like everyone's
Kia.
out to like prove.
Kia owners.
Okay.
I think they know their place and they just don't speak up too loud and kind of float in the back.
Even if someone talks shit about them, they want to be nice.
You know, the Stinger guys, you never hear a Stinger guy coming up and talking shit.
That's true.
He'll have his Stinger and he might brag about it a little bit, but he won't go talking shit.
I've seen the Stinger guys when I have talked about the platform. They get a little noisy in the comments, but they don't.
Okay, so
they
maybe
don't.
they're
They,
not the
no,
most
well, they don't.
secluded.
They don't respond like Subaru people do.
Oh my
Subaru
dude.
people are the
Oh
orniest.
my god.
They are the orniest group out of
Yes.
all.
You
Yeah.
can
of
be
the car
on their
community.
side and they'll still be upset.
Yeah,
they're just
you can't.
angsty all
You
the time.
can't
Fucking
talk. It was like it's the Plasti Dip community of the 2020s. Like you
Oh
can't.
my god.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I know exactly
You
what- I
can
know what you mean.
barely even tread on the conversation without them, and then they immediately get upset.
they're
Like,
on your front
even
lawn.
with the GR86 conversation with the RTV fix, it's like, guys, this is a factory issue
Yeah.
with the motor made by Subaru. This is a cheap way to do this. They fucking cut corners. This is dog shit. They should get accountability. And people are like, well, actually, when it runs, bro, it's one of the best power curve, naturally aspirated 2.4s out there. I can't believe you'd even talk poorly about this. Is a budget platform. You know, you should be thankful Toyota's even making this with Subaru. You should learn how to work on your car.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did this come
Are
from?
all Subaru people from the south? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know where the accent
Yeah, that
came
was
from,
wild.
but-
It came out of nowhere.
We were going.
Yeah, no, they're Subaru people. They got a voice, and they'll fucking
use it.
Use it. They'll hop on that.
As
I don't
far
know.
as like secluded, I don't know if they're really.
Well, you don't know them because you can't think of them because they don't speak up.
I feel like
trying to
plus
think
I feel like older than 35-year-old S chassis owners are really quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people that are like,
They talk a lot of shit. You just don't hear it.
yeah, well, obviously.
I would say the same, even though you don't like them. The DSM guys,
Yeah.
they are their own little crowd.
I don't hear them often.
No, they're in their own little crowd.
They
They're
do
doing
some
their thing.
stupid
They're walking.
numbers, too,
They're walking
sometimes.
their cranks. They're
Yeah.
they're having a good
They
time.
make some crazy horsepower.
They do.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. My situation with that community does not.
You want to know what it is? You want to know
It
what it
doesn't
is?
take away from the fact that these guys are pumping out
I'll tell you what it is.
stupid numbers with those cars.
Alex, I'm gonna tell you what it is. You owned a 3000 GT, right?
Yeah.
What was it? It was a.
I owned an SL,
SL.
and I owned a VR4.
When the fuck did you own a
I
VR4?
owned 2 VR4s. What do you mean?
You just keep saying you own cars. I'm gonna start checking you on this
Yeah,
shit.
I never seen
Anyway, I owned a second gen Eclipse, but it was GS. It was a 428. It wasn't 4G63. So
Poser.
I don't know. I just feel like
The real-
maybe the base model guys that aren't the real DSM guys.
I did not
get
ever
looked
once.
down on a
I
little
didn't
bit.
even. I never even once thought to myself that I was a DSM guy for owning a SL or VR4. I
neither.
remember that it was more so just like to be a DSM enthusiast.
But you had to be a part of those pages though, because it
Yeah.
all got roped in.
Yeah. What I mean by that is like, I remember there's like a pyramid of knowledge in those days, 2010s we'll call it, and early 2010s, and it's like you had your entry level stuff, your Civics.
Yep.
Then you started getting into some of like your Turbo 4s, your SRT 4s, and
Yeah,
stuff
or like your
ish,
boosted cars,
stuff. Then you had like your V8 platforms where you could do some stuff with LS swapping and LSs in general. And then you started getting into this weird spot where people were trying to pump out power. And DSM owners that knew how to get the power, they sat at the top of that pyramid. Like they knew so much.
They're evil
shit.
geniuses.
They
Like,
were the ones that were developing the tunes like literally on a laptop in the passenger seat as they were before there were tunes available
like
to
you had your
use.
Civics out there with your laptops, but the DSM guys are the ones that made the program.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yes. And I still remember where it was like they knew that. They knew they were on the top of that pyramid and they had no problem telling everyone else that you can come to us once you've earned your way up this little pyramid, otherwise back the fuck off.
Ever since the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross came out, Mitsubishi guys been real quiet.
Dude, yeah, they dropped the Evo and then made that Eclipse
Yeah.
Cross. Everyone, they're embarrassed to have
Yeah,
Mitsubishis.
they're like, no, I drive other cars.
Well, with that being said, I think we're at time for the final part. So we hope you enjoyed this episode. Please let us know in the comments what you want us to talk about next.
Yeah.
Of course. Thanks for the support and for 2,000 subscribers on the potty.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
2,000 subs, baby.
That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. You know, eventually we'll be able to monetize this channel, and make like $3 an episode.
Maybe we'll have a set one day. We won't even be in a living room or a garage.
It'll be like season
or
20.
a basement.
What's wrong with my living room?
I don't know. It's just me and Joe's are so sunk in.
Yeah. You gotta get some couch with like support.
Yeah. See how it's curling up on the end?
I hate this. It makes me
I'm
look
doing
huge.
it too. Yeah, it makes me feel like
Self-conscious.
it's made for like 40-pound white people.
Why they gotta be white?
Because we're all white. You're a white guy that bought it.
All right, bye.